The Matrix by Paul Timoney. There was a lad, and there was numbers raining down on him, sixes and sevens and fours, the whole lot. He was wearing sunglasses, and he was fairly confident at this point. Now, that was a big change from earlier on. A few months earlier, he had been very confused in himself. He was starting to get the sense that there was some kind of peculiarities happening all around him, and I'll go into one in detail in a while, but he had started to do all sorts of little strange, little peculiar little things to kind of test reality. What I suppose he was hoping to do was he was trying to almost do something so strange that reality wouldn't be able to account for it, or wouldn't be able to, it would be something so unexpected. And I don't mean, because you'd see in a TV show sometimes, oh, I'll jump off a cliff, or I'll leap out a window, or I'll run into a wall. That's what you would do if you were trying to do something unexpected. But what he was trying to do was like actual unexpected things. Like he'd get a Tic Tac and break into, like, I'm in a little suite, and he'd break into his neighbour's house and he'd put it into one of the sinks. And he's just trying to do things like down through the little plug hole, down through, just like things that were just senseless, really, that would there'd be no rhyme or reason for doing them. And his latest thing, what he had done was he was actually after dropping his own front door key into his letterbox of his locked door. Just like, who would do that? And he was just trying to see if he would do such a thing. But of course, reality was able to cater to every single thing he'd done so far. There was nothing he could do that reality wasn't able to accommodate. So yeah, he was in a bit of a bind. He was, what else? He'd go into his shop and he'd rearrange stuff on the shelf, or he'd talk strange to the lad. He'd tell him he was from the past, or that he had something for sale himself. Anyway, just kind of weird out, he was just always trying to, I don't know, just kind of be weird, trying to unmask the whole of reality and again, not by being dramatic, but just by being so peculiar. Oh yeah, I said I'd tell you how all this had started. Now, it was years earlier, but he just couldn't get it out of his head. He'd been on Dame Street in Dublin, and he was walking up at the top of it, and he saw a kind of an odd enough looking lad, a fellow with two bags of huffing and puffing, and he had this huge strand blown off his scalp, blown off his head, and it was like clearly a comb over that had become unfurled, but it was genuinely about 4 feet long. So just a very strange, like a big flag, like a big ribbon, blowing and billowing around, and this man huffing and puffing, and he had cheeks on him like he had corned beef kind of a complexion. And anyway, so he noticed him, and he kept walking down Dame Street, walking down Dame Street, down towards Trinity College. And lo and behold, 3 minutes later, or say 4 minutes, however long it would take you to walk down, and he was a student at the time, so he was young and fit, and he was walking, and lo and behold, the same man was approaching him again at the bottom of the street. Now, there's no way the man could have gotten in front and around and be walking up in the same way. So it felt to himself as though the Matrix had made a mistake, that the programmers had accidentally cut and pasted the same like extra or character into like a background character into his life twice in too quick a succession, that he noticed. And it was the big trail of flipping and flopping hair, the big tendril, the big tentacle that stood out to him. But everything else about the man was so just distinct that there was no way in his mind that he could be the same person. But then he was so he's sitting on his little doorstep there, not able to get into his house, and it kind of dawned on him that, is it a matrix? Is it not a matrix? Well, that's not a dawn, that's a question. But it was, what dawned on him was that it made no difference because he compared in his mind himself to like a trout. And if he was a trout and he was pulled out of the water by a fisherman, and the fisherman said to him, if the fisherman explained everything about humanity and the world up outside of the river and explained the whole thing to him so that the trout could understand in a way that he literally turned into the salmon of knowledge, like, what addition would it be to him anyway? How would knowing that help if there was no way of sharing that information with anyone or anything else?